What's up, guys? Today we are going to pick up where we left off last week and continue developing this project. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so this is everything we've currently done in this project, everything you see right here. I think we're about 80% of the way done, maybe a little more. I believe the only things left that we have to do is add this, add some functionality. So when we click on this instructions, we have to make that pop out, and then we have to add, what's going to happen here, because currently this nothing works here. It's just buttons that don't do anything yet. So we need to go ahead and fix that. So let's come over here and jump into our HTML. And beneath our buttons, let's see, after we close off this content wrapped div right here, we're going to add 2 more divs. So we're going to have one div with the class of overlay, and we are going to have another div with the class of instructions wrapper. Just like that. And we can close this off. Alright, so inside of this, let's see, we've got a few things over here we're going to need. I got the design file open here in Adobe XD. We're essentially going to have, this header here, a smaller header with some body text, and then the same thing down here, and a button. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and let's start adding some stuff. So inside of this instructions wrapper, let's have another div with the class of instructions container, and we'll close this just like that. And now inside of the instructions container, let's go ahead, we're going to add an H3. So this H3 is going to say instructions, and close off the H3. And now beneath the H3, we're going to add these 2 pieces here. So let's go ahead and let's wrap them. So this is going to be a div. That's not how you spell div. A div with the class of encode wrapper. And close this. And inside of here, we're going to have 2 things. We're going to have an H5. And this is going to say encoding. And we can close off that H5. And then we are going to have a paragraph right here. And I'm just going to come over here for now and copy what we have inside of here and just paste it right inside of this paragraph tag. Let's come back over here and just refresh and see what we got. Anything? Oh, there it is, hiding down there. There it is. I had to scroll to see it, but it's there. So we have our instructions, our encoding, and this little body text right here. So now let's go ahead and let's add the decoding. So after this wrapper, we're going to have another div with the class of decode wrapper. And close this off. And inside of here, again, we're going to have an H5. And this is going to say simply decoding, just like that. And then after this H5, we are going to have a paragraph tag right here. And then we are just going to go ahead and copy everything in this section. Copy, paste. Cool. All right. I don't need that extra space. All right, so after we close off this decode wrapper, we're going to need a button. So let's come here and we're going to add a button. Let's give it a type of button. And, whoops, this needs to be like this type of button. And we're going to give this an ID. And I'm just going to call this ID get to it, and we can close this button. And inside of the button, we are going to say get to it with an exclamation mark, just like that. Now if we come down over here into Chrome, refresh, scroll down. Now you see we have our H3 or H5, a paragraph, our other H5, our other paragraph, and our button get to it. So currently it does nothing and it's not styled. So let's go ahead and start styling it. So over here in Atom, we're going to come up here and let's go just beneath this button wrapper hover class we have right here, and let's grab our overlay. So it's dot overlay, just like that. And in here, we're going to give it some styles. So this is going to be positioned absolute. It's going to have a Z index of 10, because we need it to sit above the other stuff. It's going to have a top of 0, a right of 0, a bottom of 0. And can you guess what the left is going to be? 0. All right, so after that, we need to go to background. So let's give this background hex code 141414. And, well, let's see how that looks now. Okay, I just can't see anything now because it's completely black, but it is on top of everything, so that is good. After this, let's set the opacity to, let's set the opacity to 0.3, right? Yeah? Do I want it to 0.3? Let's see. Let's see what that looks like, just so I can see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks like it'll be dim enough for when we actually click on it. All right, but now let's go ahead and just set this to 0 just so we can see everything. Okay, so after our overlay, we need to grab our instructions wrapper and start giving that some styles as well. So this is going to be displayed as flex, and we got a bunch of browser prefixes for that. So let's just grab something where we've already declared that, just like that. And we're also going to be justifying the center and aligning the item's center as well. So let's see. I feel like we did that up here on the very first wrapper we made. Content wrap. Let's see, I think we need justify, which is all of this, and align items, which is all of this. And that should do that, I think. Let's come down here and paste it and see what happens. All the way down here after flex, just like that. Refresh. Nothing quite happened just yet. Oh, let's go ahead. We need to position this. Let's set the position to absolute. Top, this is going to be the same as last time. Right, 0, bottom, 0, and left, 0. Just like that. Let's give this a Z index of 20 so it sits above the overlay. Yeah, let's take a look at that. There we go. So now it's sitting right up here in the center. We just have to fix all of the sizes for everything. So let's go ahead and grab our instructions container. So instructions container. We're going to grab that and we're going to start giving this some styles. So let's say position relative. And let's say let's go with a height of 90% and a width of 90% as well. And let's do a max height. Let's see what this is we can mess with that a little bit. So let's do like a max height of like 600 pixels. And no, that's not height, that's width. Let's change this to height. Cool. Now let's do a max width of like 745 or something like that. And then we can go ahead and give it a little padding inside. I'll just go with 1M. What else? We need the background to be white, so we'll just do that right there. Let's give it some border radius, because I know we have like, what is it, like 10 pixels? 8 pixels. Let's do 10 pixels, because I think we did 10 pixels on the button or something like that. 10 pixels. And let's add some box shadow and some box sizing. So it's going to be WebKit box shadow, and then this is just going to be, let's do like 0 pixels, 3 pixels, and 6 pixels with RGBA set to 0, 0, 0, 0.16, and then this just like that. And now let's add the box sizing. So WebKit box sizing, and then we'll just call this border box. Grab this, paste it here, and remove this. All right, now let's take a quick little look. All right, that looks pretty good as far as this white bit goes here. I like it. After, well, here, let's bring this overlay back just a little bit. Let's just go, I'll just go 0.3. That's not where I need to put it. Right there. So now we can look at this. So that's closer to what it'll look like. Now we can go ahead and start styling that text inside of the instructions container. Let's go ahead and grab well, let's do this. We'll just say instructions container h3. So we're grabbing the h3 that exists inside of the instructions container. Okay, so the styling we're going to add to this h3 is not much. We're going to do like a font size. What is this looking like? 30. Let's do font size 1.5625 rem. Text align center. Let's do font size of font size. Let's try that. And color, let's just do 333. Take a look at it. That looks pretty good. I'm satisfied with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can grab our encode wrapper and our decode wrapper, and we can style those just a bit. So encode wrapper and comma and our decode wrapper, just like that. And let's give them both a max width of 645. Yeah, because we have 745 pixels for width. So I'll give it like, 50 pixels on each side, I guess that would be. Max width, that's good. Let's set the margin to auto. Refresh. Looking like something. I guess that's correct. Did I grab them properly? Encode wrapper and decode wrapper. Oh, pixels. There we go. Now let's try this. There we go. Now it's sitting right there in the center. Perfect. Let's start, adding some margins to these. Let's grab the encode wrapper on its own. Encode wrapper. And let's give this just a margin top of, say, 80 pixels. Take a look at it. That's good enough. Come over here. Let's give the decode wrapper, a margin top of 40 pixels. So it's about half. Well, it is exactly half. Whoops. Let's refresh. Take a look at it. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Again, I'm not really going for perfection on this. I know what I want, so I just want to make it look how I want to make it look. All right. So, what can I do here? Let's set the size of both the H5 and the paragraph to be the same, because that looks like what we got here. So we're going to grab the instructions container H5 and the instructions container paragraph, and we're going to give them both a color of 333 and a font size of 1 rem, just like that. Now let's take a look. Perfect. That's looking better. Now we can grab our H5 exclusively. Thought I copied that. H5. And on our H5, let's go ahead. Let's set the font weight to... Why can't I find there? Weight to like 700. And we'll set margin to 0 on the top, 0 on the right, 5 pixels on the bottom, and 0 on the left. Let's take a look. It's looking better. Now we can go ahead and we can let's grab our paragraph tags inside of there, respectively, on, by themselves. And let's set the font weight for this to be 400. Let's set the margins to be 0. And let's set the opacity to be, this would probably help, to be 0.85. Let's take a look. That looks good, because if you look over here, you'll see this is just like slightly opaque here. Well, it's not really opaque, it's just a brighter color, but I'd just rather do it this way, because we can. And we did. Okay, so now that we got all that styled, what we can go ahead and do now is we can style this button right here. Let's do that. So after our instructions container, let's go ahead, let's grab our instructions container button, and we'll start styling this. So I know I'm gonna have like a hover state on this, so let's just go ahead and add a transition now. Transition of all 0.2s is in, and let's position this absolute. Let's do left 50%. So this is going to be a little trick to center it horizontally, I believe. Left 50%. Let's do a bottom of 40 pixels. That's 50 pixels. Let's do 40 pixels. Now we're going to use transform. So we have a WebKit transform, transform, and then translate X. If you're hearing that noise, I have dogs, so they're running around right now. All right, translate X, is that right? Let's do negative 50% on that. And let's get rid of this WebKit on this one. That I think will work. Let's take a look, see if it's centered. And it is centered. Perfect. Okay. Now to make it look like this junk right here. So, like the other inputs we had, let's get rid of this outline and set it to none because the outlines are freaking ugly. Let's set the width to 150 pixels. Let's set the height to 50 pixels. And let's set the background. Let's see what color here. Color. Let's grab this color right here, put it here. Cool. That's the background. Let's give it a border of none. Border radius though, 10 pixels just like everywhere else. Keep it all the same. No reason to change it. Let's set the font size to 1 rem. Color of the font needs to be white, so we'll just do white like that. Font weight, just to make sure it's the same weight as the paragraph, we're going to go for 400. Cursor needs to be pointer when we are hovering over it. And I do want a little bit of box shadow, but it's going to be the same box shadow as this right here. Sorry, right here. Let's just copy this, save a little time, and paste it there. Now let's take a look, refresh, and it looks perfect. It looks exactly the same as this does right here. So now that that is done, whoops. Now that that is done, what we need to go ahead and do is we need to first of all, we need to go ahead and basically push all this stuff. I was using my hands and there's no camera. We need to push all of this stuff right here off to the side so that when you first come to the page, it's not the first thing that you see. So let's go ahead and let's come up here to our overlay because that needs to be moved as well. Let's set the opacity of the overlay for now to 0, and after the opacity we need to translate this negative 100%, so it's going to slide all the way off to the left. So let's go ahead and do web kit transform translate x negative 100%. I think that's all written correctly. Negative 100%. Let's remove that. Okay, cool. That's good. Let's make this 1 and just make sure it still disappears. Yeah, alright, it's off to the side all the way. Turn this back to 0. Cool. So now on our instructions wrapper here, we're going to add this same little bit of code at the end. Just like that. That's perfect. Let's see. Now everything's off the page right there. Sweet. So, what do we need to do now? Well, let's go ahead and well, actually, you know what we didn't do? What we didn't do is set that hover style to this. So let's go ahead and let's bring this back for now, just for a moment. Just like this. That should work. No. Yeah, okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and let's find our button. Right here is our button. Let's grab the instructions container button with hover, and let's just give it some of this stuff right here. Let's do transform translate. This one's gonna wait, no, am I doing this right? Yeah, we gotta do this way. So we need to add the same translation that we did prior, otherwise it'll remove it and it's going to make it not be centered. So we need to add this back again of negative 50%, and then here we can go ahead and add the translate y, and we can make this negative 1 pixel, just like that. We are going to need our WebKit version of this. So WebKit, just like that. And then down here, we need our shadow, but we need to change the shadow just a little bit. So it's going to be just as dark, but we'll make it a little less opaque. So we'll just go to 1, and then we're going to make the we're going to change this just a little bit. So this is going to be 6, and then this is going to go up to 10, just like that. Let's come over here and change this to the same thing. 6 and 10. That's good. All right. I like it. Now, let's see. What do we need to do? Okay. We need to... Well, let's make it hide again. Well, here, let's check it first. Perfect. That works. Let's go ahead and let's hide this back. We don't need it right this moment. Just like that. Should go off to the side. And it's off to the side. So now let's go ahead and start writing a little bit of Java. We need to go ahead and basically create like a toggle here. So when you click this, it'll add a class, which we will create in a moment, but we're going to go ahead and make it add that class, and then it'll slide out from the side over here with the classes that we're going to make. Okay, so let's see here. Let's put this towards the end of everything. So right here, just before the body closes, let's write a script. Type equals text / JavaScript, and close the script tag. And inside of here, we're going to add some stuff. The main thing we're going to need to add right now is a function. So we're going to write function. Let's call this class toggle, not toggle. Just like that. And let's tell it some stuff to do. So let's get the document dot body dot class list dot toggle. I didn't spell that right. Class list dot toggle, and let's grab our instructions just like that. So whenever we click on that button, this one here, we're going to be, let's see. Whoops. Let's go ahead and open that file again. I don't know what happened. Where is project URL? Here. All right. Let's see. All right, so whenever we click this, it's going to be toggling something that we will set in a moment. So, all right, we got that set up right there. Now, let's see, it's gonna fire. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do document dot query. That's definitely not how you spell query. Query selector. And let's go ahead and let's grab our ID of instructions. That should all be like that. Did I give that an ID of instructions? I don't. Did I? I didn't, did I? Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking about the wrong thing. I was thinking about the, this right here. That's not what I needed to give the ID of instructions to. I needed to give it to this instructions, and I did. All right, perfect. So now we can continue with this. Let's do add event listener. This is going to be click, and we'll say class toggle here. So it's going to run that. Yeah. Yes, it will. Okay, perfect. And we need to add another one here. So let's do this. But the only thing different here is, whoops. This is going to be our get to it. So what's going to be happening here is we have our instructions here, and then as you saw up here, this get to it button. So what's happening is whenever you click the instructions and the navigation on the side, or the get to it button that's down over here, we are firing this function here, which is grabbing our document.body and adding, well, technically toggling this class instructions. That is something that we do need to create. But let's come over here and just see if it's working at all. Here, let's come over here. Anything? Oh, okay, you know what we need to do? We need to go ahead and prevent the default. We haven't done that yet, because every time I'm clicking this, it's sending it to nowhere. See how it kind of refreshes the page? Watch up here when I click in 3, 2, 1. So we need to go ahead and fix that. Luckily, it's not a difficult one at all. In fact, we already named it. I remember that distinctly, but we'll do this at the end of our style. We're going to write another script tag. Script, close it. And inside of here, I remember we called this prevent default, so we'll go function prevent default. We'll run it, and we are just going to do this event dot prevent default, just like that. So now this shouldn't refresh when I click. Okay, it didn't, but now I'm going to refresh it and look at the code. There, see, this popped up here. It added that class, and now when I click it again, it is gone. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Let's go ahead. I don't need this open anymore here. All right. So now we need to go ahead and basically add a little style here at the end of our styles. So after the button hover, we need to go ahead and we need to grab our body and add the class of instructions. Instructions like that. So, but we're gonna do this a little differently than what this looks like right now. So we're grabbing our body with the class of instructions, but we're going to only grab our overlay inside of that, just like this. And then we're also going to do this same thing after this, but with our instructions wrapper. Okay, so our overlay, when the body has a class of instructions, needs to have a few things. First of all, we need an opacity of 0.6. We are going to need to translate this, so we'll have web kit transform translate x 0 and close that. Get rid of the WebKit. Okay, that is good there. Now we need to come down here to our instructions wrapper, and well, we basically need this little bit of code right here. Whoops, wrong spot. Right there. Okay, so now if this all works properly, let me refresh this. When I click this, we should have this we should have this all just pop up here, but it's going to be instant. And then when we click the get to a button, it should disappear instantly. Let's see if that works. There it is, and let's see if it goes away. Perfect. So now I want to add a little bit of like animation, some transition stuff. It's a little, so basically I just want it to slide out from the side essentially, but I don't want the overlay to look like it's sliding out from the side. So I want it to slide into place first and then bring the opacity up here, not do them both at the same time. So this is slightly complicated, not extremely. It just feels backwards because you literally have to add you have to add the transitions, well, in a way that feels backwards. All right, so let's add some transitions first to the overlay here. Let's go ahead and let's do, well, we need WebKit. Let's do WebKit transition, just like that. Let's say transform. Let's do transform at 0s, and then a 0.3 second delay, and opacity we'll do just at 0.3 seconds immediately, and we'll add a little cubic Bezier. Let's do 0.64 comma negative 0.07 comma 0.38 comma 1.48, and then let's put this down here, but without the WebKit. Okay, so we've got this. Let's go ahead and just grab this now, and on our instructions wrapper, we can put this down here, but we can go ahead and we can get rid of the opacity because we aren't adjusting any opacity, and we can get rid of, let's get rid of this well, no, well, we're not getting rid of the delay. Yeah, we are getting rid of the delay. What am I thinking? Like this, but let's go ahead and set this to 0.4 seconds, like that. Now let's see if any of this is working at all. So it's half there. The opacity is doing what I want when I want it to go out, but not when I want it to come in yet. And then this is sliding in properly. It's actually sliding out properly as well, I believe. All right, so let's see. We need to, let's grab this, open it. Let's come down here to the body with the overlay on it. Where is it? Here we go. And we'll paste this here. But now this is kind of, this, I don't know, it kind of feels a little backwards. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to remove the delay here. And we're going to leave this at this speed. So what should happen is when it comes in, so when we apply this class, it overrides the existing transition we have with this. So it's going to put it in place immediately, and then it's going to fade in. And then when we remove this class, what's happening is it's reverting back to this transition, and it is delaying the transform so that it can fade out and then slide off to the side. Now let's give this a try and see if it works. Okay, that was good. Now going away. Perfect. That is exactly what I want there. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and we have 3 more functions that we need to add, and then we are officially done with this. So let's go ahead and let's add those real quick. So 2 things we need to add. These are the most important ones. We are going to need to add this encoding function and this decoding function. So if we look at our code here in the HTML structure, you'll see we use on click run the function encode. We haven't built that yet, so let's go ahead and build that right here. Let's write function encode. Okay, now inside of here, let's grab this, well, let's say a variable obj equals document get element by ID, and we are going to get the ID of dencoder because that is our input. Dencoder. just like that. So where's our input? You'll see the input here. The input has an ID of dencoder, so we need to grab the contents of our input before we can edit or do anything to them. So after we grab that, like, we can have another variable, and we'll call this unencoded equals, I'm trusting I spelled that right. All right, so it's going to equal our object dot value. Correct. That's right. Obj dot value. Yeah. Okay. So then after this, let's see. Obj dot value equals encode URI component, yes, unencoded dot replace, and then this is a little complicated, so I'm not even gonna bother reading it all out. Percent 27. Yeah. And replace what was it? 22. Okay. I believe that's it for the encode function. It's not long at all. Let's go ahead and put something in here. Let's just go ahead and grab like that. Throw that in there. Whatever. Encode. What's up, bro? Don't want to encode? Why don't you want to encode? Document object. Dencoder. CID. Okay. I am really blind. Sorry. I see this here. Let's remove that. Now let's try it. Let's just say hello world encode, and there we go. It's working. It is encoding it. Finally. Okay. That was way more difficult than it needed to be. Now let's go ahead and let's write our function for decode. So we're going to grab our function, write decode. Variable. Well, we can copy this because we need to grab this again. Copy it. Let's paste it right there. All right, and then now we need to go ahead and write this without mistyping it again. Would be awesome. We need to write decode URI component, and then actually this here does need to change. So this needs to be encoded, not unencoded, and then this needs to be encoded, just like that. And then we can come here, encoded dot replace this plus with just a space like that. Yeah. Let's see if this works. Does it? Oh, wait. Cool. That's interesting. Well, we got that working. Alright, let's try this again. Hello world. Encode it. Decode it. Let's put it in this. Encode it. Cool. Let's try this. Let's grab this bit here. Put it in here and decode. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. Now that little tricky bit's out of the way, we need to go ahead and add one more function. So we need to go ahead and add the ability to copy this. And it's really complicated, so there's something out there, if I can remember what it's called. I think it's called Clipboard.js. Yes, this is what we're going to be using here. Clipboard.js. So let's download the zip. I don't need this open anymore. Let's come over here, open the zip, and we can grab, where is it? Let's see which one I'm supposed to be grabbing. Include the script located in the distribution folder. Okay. So let's grab the minified version. Yeah. Right here. And let's put this at the bottom of the page before the toggle. All that junk right there. Shout out to who made this. Thank you. Let's say Zeno Roca. Thank you. This is awesome. I love this. Let's see. What do we gotta do? Set up. Now you need to instantiate it by passing a DOM selector. New clipboard button. Okay. I see. Okay, so let's go ahead. Alright, let's come over here. We're going to say variable, clipboard, new clipboard with a capital C this time, button, class of button like that, and let's say clipboard, on success, we will run a function like this. Okay, so this function is going to be console.log. Let's say something like successfully copied text with an exclamation mark. And that, and then let's do one more just like this. We just need this bit here, but this will be on error, right? Yeah, on error. And then this will say console.log. Oh no, let's not console log this. Let's alert this, because this is the one that they're gonna, need to know. If it doesn't work, let's say that didn't. We need to do that. That didn't work for some reason. You might just have to copy it yourself while we get this fixed. No, we'll get this figured out. And, we can do this right here just like that. Yeah, that should be good. Let's see. It's not going to copy yet. Yeah, no, it's not copying it yet. We need to, what do we need to do? We need to, what we need to do? We need to come up here and go to the button. Where's our button at? Button right here. No, wrong button. The copy button. Copy button, here we go. So, on our copy button, we need to give this a class of button. Button like that. And a couple things we need to add to it. If I can find, where was it? We need to do, okay, we need to add our data clipboard target. So our data clipboard target is going to be the ID of Decoder, because that is our input. And we need data clipboard action. And this is going to be copy. It's been a while since I've used clipboard.js. Let's see. Okay, let's get a quote. Okay, never mind. Let's just go ahead and type something in here. Hello world. We are testing the copy button. Okay, let's encode this. Now I'm going to try and copy this. Ready? Okay. Decode it. Now I'm going to try and paste into here. Okay, ready? And paste. It copied. It worked. Sweet. See if I paste this right now. That's what it looks like. If I decode this, copy it. Look at that. Perfect. So that is everything. This is the entire project right here. This is all that we were going to add. We got this popping up from the side telling you how to use it. We have our buttons here to encode and decode, and we can copy it. Sorry if there was any confusion there when we were creating the functions for encode and decode. I know it's not long, but I got a little confused writing it out. It happens every now and then. Getting a little tired, but I am glad we got this all done. Alright guys, so that's it. We did it. We completed everything that we needed to do for this project. We went through some ideation, we went through some design, and we went through and developed the whole thing out in just a few weeks. So I think this is going to be a great tool. I think I'm going to use this all the time. So go ahead, if you ever need it, use it, see how it works for you. Give me some feedback. Let me know if it helps you at all. And if you know anyone else that needs it or needs something like it, let them know, and then let me know if they're gonna use it. That'd be awesome. But anyways, if you liked this video and or this series, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. I will get to them when I can. I am a little busy right now. I have got a lot of work piling up, and I've just been trying to burn through it and get it all done, but I promise I will get back to you when I can. Now, if you like the content that I'm creating on this channel, go on over to my Patreon account at patreon.com/Zachary R. Newton, where you can help support this channel and help me create better videos for you every week. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Put your hands together. Yeah. Put your hands together.